This is the sound of me fumbling around, clicking on control panels, sound inputs and outputs, trying to figure out why I could hear Steve and Steve could hear me, but I was only recording myself. Things were off to a great start. Okay, I finally got it. All right, can you hear me?
I'm just kidding.
Thank God. He was just busting my chops. This is why I picked Steve for my first interview. A great sense of humor. Steve was actually my first repeat customer as a voiceover, which was huge because it actually validated that I might actually be able to do this voiceover thing. People would actually want to hire me back. Not only that, he and I both had our first national commercial together. And if you happen to be watching Spike during WWE on a Thursday night, you may remember the Insurance Cow.
It's utterly simple. TheInsuranceCow.com.
So I decided to start the interview. First of all, go ahead and describe your business and what you do for it.
Okay, I'm going to give you some feedback now.
I'm such a dummy. I didn't explain to him what my vision was for this thing, and he's so good at that. Describing his vision, that is. I went on to explain to him that it's going to be a little bit more produced and that I'm going to be taking sound bites from the interview of him and kind of narrating it and splicing it together to make it kind of an NPR style instead of the usual interview. But I didn't explain it to him, so he was right. Either way, that was a crappy start to an interview. Let's do a true introduction. Steve Carafello is a super talented video producer for a company called Green Iguana Productions.
We're a small boutique video production shop. We started out doing soundtracks, actually, and jingles. We soon started branching out and doing animation, largely for web video, for home pages and things like that. And we sort of grew in these styles of animation that we would attack. And when I say we, I started the company pretty much single-handedly, but as the business grew, I started partnering with other contractors and artists, animators, voiceover artists such as yourself, Bill, script writers, creative collaborators, and the like. So we branched out into sort of just cartoons, explainer videos. Then we started to touch motion graphics and we started to bring 3D into the picture. Really where we're going now is we're going after a lot of live action interview stuff and parody stuff. We have some local studios that we use in the area. We travel. We took interviews in Washington a few months ago, Washington, D.C. We went to San Diego the previous year.
So basically, Green Iguana Productions is a soup-to-nuts video production house that covers a lot of different styles and genres. Everything from a video to open up your conference to get the crowd excited or laughing, to your homepage web explainer video or your email marketing video. They do TV spots, national or regional, and they're damn good. The way I see it, in order to be so creative and successful, you have to have a passion for it. Just like I talked about creating radio commercials on my Jambox in the kitchen, Steve was creating stop-motion animation back when he was a kid.
I fell in love at 9 years old with the movie King Kong, the original 1933 movie. And I was fascinated with, I knew there was a difference between the creatures and the humans. My 9-year-old brain was detecting stop motion animation and being able to differentiate the stop motion, like when, there were some scenes where they used an optical printer to combine a live Fay Ray with an animated model of Kong in a jungle, but then she crawls behind a rock and now it becomes an animated Fay Ray crawling and he picks her up. I became fascinated with stop motion. I bought myself a Super 8 camera and I started making cartoons and I started making modeling. I built dinosaurs out of solder wire, covered them with cloth so that they were bendable and posable. And I built sets. I took over my mom's dining room. That was a prehistoric set with I filmed through a painted glass mat of vines and shrubs onto the table, which had some fake trees and whatnot, and then I had a backdrop behind it. And in between the backdrop and this painted glass mat, I had these stupid dinosaurs doing their stop motion stuff. And, so with me and all my friends, it became a real hobby. We would make, whenever I figured out how to do a new special effect, which was very limited with a Super 8 camera. I didn't have optical printers and I couldn't do green screen or anything like that. But we were able to, by using mirrors a lot, put miniature guys inside of boxes because we used angles and they were standing 30 feet away. And meanwhile, they looked like they were inside a box that another guy was holding. And because if you read about how they did all this stuff in the silent days, it's really called forced perspective. In any case, long story short, that was my love. But in high school, I started to play bass guitar and I got into a band. And as soon as that happened, I never made another movie.
Now, if that were true, it would be a real shame. Steve went on and played as a professional musician and still plays from time to time in a band called Energy, NRG, which you hear in the background rocking some Duran Duran. It would be interesting to see what would have happened if he never picked up a bass. He said if he didn't, he'd probably have gone to film school. Then again, like he said earlier, scoring a soundtrack is what started Green Iguana Productions. It just goes to show you, when you're passionate about something, it's going to find its way to the top.
One of the most fulfilling things is when you are starting from whole cloth and you get that home run idea where you say, wait a minute, here's the angle, here's the approach. And you bring it to the client and they say, wow, I love it.
I want to thank Steve Carafello at Green Iguana Productions. Go to greeniguanastudios.com and check out their impressive portfolio, including The Insurance Cow.
The Insurance Cow can find moving insurance prices for you.